Here we go again, another update, trying to keep these coming fast and furious so we can get through this roster. We got us a pretty much, this is a doozy. We got a Sun, a Nugget, and a Warrior. At least a young version of a Warrior. Jason Kidd, Dan Issel, and Wilt Chamberlain, young Wilt Chamberlain, because older Wilt Chamberlain's already represented on the game. Yes, we are updating this roster again. My man Mr. 502 is keeping us going with the Xbox One version. And I'm putting together these two rosters, man. Like I keep telling you, I keep just dropping a little information in case this is like your first video where you first, your first time becoming aware of the of what I'm doing here. One roster is an all-time team roster, and another one is going to have all of the players dumped into the free agent pool. So, I'm looking forward to bringing this to you guys. And also, jump down in that description, check out Mr. 502's channel, subscribe to him so you can be up to date on the Xbox One version's progress. Appreciate you watching. Let's jump into the first creation. We got J Kidd out here, the Phoenix Suns version, like we did last year. Has a little bit of a talk about doing a couple other versions or another version here, maybe the New Jersey Nets version, because he did go to the finals with them. But the gameplay, but the style of play and overall the ratings wouldn't really be very different. So, you could always, if you want him on the Nets, you could always put him on the Nets with one of the rosters. So I'm going to stick with just this Phoenix Suns version of J Kidd, which is the 98-99 version. He had the second highest per game scoring total of his career, or tied for the second highest with 16.9. Had his highest assist total, which was 10.8, led the league in assists. It was the first time he led the league in assists, the first of 3 straight years, and the first of 5 overall. 2.3 steals a game, 0.4 blocks, 3 turnovers. He shot one of his highest percentages from the field too, 44%. J Kidd is only a 40% shooter from the field in his career. Okay, so the highest he ever, actually, to be honest, that was his highest field goal percentage of his career, which was 44%. So people got to think about that a lot of times when they're looking at guys like Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose and seeing how low their field goal percentage is. It's maybe not all that out of whack for point guards or elite point guards. Shot 36% from 3-point range that year and 75, almost 76% from the free throw line. One of the greatest point guards that ever lived, J. without a question, one of the greatest Nuggets of all time. Maybe the first ever. He is the first ever great Nugget, I would have to say. Dan Issel, a big man, but he could shoot the jump shot a little bit. Now you got to. He just shot an air ball there. You got to realize that the 3-point basket was not a really big time shot or whatever in definitely not in the 70s. Even though he started his career in the ABA where they actually did have the 3-pointer, and he shot it a little bit. But in the NBA, they didn't get the 3-point shot until he was 31 years old, and his best seasons actually were in the ABA, which he played. Started off with as a member of the Kentucky Colonels because he went to the University of Kentucky. Well, not because, but it worked out that way. But then he played his entire NBA career with the Denver Nuggets, and had a really great career. But his best years are actually with Kentucky in the ABA. But of course, I couldn't put him with an ABA squad, so we got the 75-76 Denver team, which was actually not even the Nuggets yet, and it was actually still in the ABA, but since it was the same franchise, we went ahead and went with that season. And he averaged 23 points a game, 11 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1.2 steals. He shot 51% from the field and 81.5% from the free throw line. And he actually made 25% of his threes, even though I believe he probably only shot 4. But if you look at later in his career, he shot the 3 a little bit more, and I gave him a little bit of love from deep because of that, because I'm almost positive he would have been a stretch 4 had he played now. So that is Mr. Issel, and here is his ratings, attributes, and the sculpting. one of the sports, perhaps the sport's most dominant big man. I think you probably have to say for sure he would be the sport's most dominant big man. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. Now, of course, like we mentioned before, the Lakers version is already there, but we know that with the Lakers, Wilt was not his best. His best, which is probably the most dominant statistical season in the history of the NBA by an individual. You got to look back to the 61-62 team when he was with the Philadelphia Warriors. He averaged 50.4 points a game, and 25.7 rebounds, 2.4 assists. They didn't keep block shots at that time, but there's no telling how many of those. He shot 50% from the field and took 39.5 shots a game. Now, he only shot 61% from the free throw line, but actually that is the highest percentage Wilt ever shot from the line in his career. With 61%, he shot 17 free throws a game. So just keep that in mind when you see his rating, because it's going to be pretty ridiculous, and I didn't know any other way to do it. Also known for his great athleticism. People don't realize that he was also a standout athlete in track and field. So Wilt is one of the few really dominant big men from the late 50s, early 60s who would have a good chance to still be a very, very good player in today's game, even with today's athletes. Here is the breakdown.